Hi, it's Tony again, and this time we're off on one of our travel logs, and it's my turn to introduce you to the beautiful city of Wells. Now, I know it's not a policy of ours, but it seems to be we're following religion around. Down in Dorset, there's a number of places we've been going to which all have cathedrals, and this place is no different. This has a cathedral as well, and this is in the city of Wells. And the reason it's called Wells is actually somewhere behind us here. There are actually some wells that spring from the ground. So hence the name Wells. They weren't thinking very much when they came up with the name, but hey, they built a beautiful city. So we're going to show you around it and let you have a look at it.
And would you believe it? We arrived on a day when the market was in town. I absolutely love those boots. It was even that good that I decided to go for a walk around to see if there's anything to buy. Sadly, after half an hour, there was nothing for me. However, Una found eggs, cheese, crackers and a sauce. There was also a pile of hats, not Una's style, except for these last couple here.
Well, we've been a bit lucky today because the market's been on in town. And that's meant we've been able to buy some cheese and biscuits for later on tonight for our supper. So Una's delighted with that. We've had a good walk round as well. And Wells is looking particularly good because it's spring. A lot of the trees are in bloom, so it's been a nice day out for us to have a look around. But we haven't finished. We're going to do a bit more, so we'll see you later.
You know, in the north of England, we spent a lot of time building huge mills for industry. Whereas it looks down here in the south as though they built these huge cathedrals for religion. I'll let you decide which ones I prefer. There is one question I always wanted to ask. Who's going to clean the windows? It ain't going to be me.
Well, you must think we're blessed with sunny days here, but it's not. We choose the days to come out when it's sunny. So please don't think everywhere we go is as sunny as this. But today, it's a sunny day.
Well, I found one of the wells, and here it is. There's a big stone block right at the start of the market square. So there you go, one of the wells in Wells. Now, one of the things we like is the palace, which is surrounded by a moat, and it gives you a wonderful walk around and is literally 20 yards from the main town centre. Now, this rope, if you're wondering what it's doing, it's not hanging out the window. The idea is that the swans are trained to pull the rope, to ring the bell, to open the window, to get some food. You know, sometimes the devil makes work for idle hands. Ah, summer. Jesus, that's a big swan.
Well, I must admit, every time I come to Wells, everybody tells me that there's a kingfisher that goes up and down the rivers on the far side. And once again, I had a look today, and once again, I have not seen the kingfisher. So although it's been a good day, I'm kingfisherless.
And this is the area the kingfisher's supposed to live in. And I spent many a happy time on those benches looking for hours and hours. Oh, look, a headless swan. Come on, Una. No, you're going the wrong way. No, don't walk away. Will you stop walking away? Stop it. No. I think you can tell who the boss is around here. Feel like David Bailey now. Now these are the mayflies, and they dance around on the moat, dipping into the water. It looks like rain, but there's no trout to feed on them, so they can happily do this all day long. And for somebody from Manchester, trust me, this is very different. Oh, here he comes, the Australian swan surfing in. And here comes Old Man Hobnob. Now there is a lovely walk, I'm told, because I've never been on it. The reason I've never been on it is I look at this view and I just generally give up, because the view around it is stunning. Why walk that far? And I'm no expert on trees. As far as I'm concerned, they grow upwards or sideways and they're different coloured green. But the views around here are really stunning. And again, I'm not too far away from the kingfisher spot. Now, there's a lot of independent shops here. You don't find many of the retail or traditional retail shops on the high street. So you can go and do your heart shopping to your heart's content. And when it's raining, it is a very good place to come. So Wells is nice even on a wet day, because you will find plenty of opportunity to go into the shops and do your shopping. And as well as the general bric-a-brac stores and cafes and everything, there's actually a bit of culture here as well. And you will find me in the micro pub or in a real ale house. Both highly recommended. But of course, I'm not always in the ale house because I might be driving. And if I'm in driving, you'll find me here in Coffee One. And this is one of my favourite shops. Anybody over the age of 60 will love it in there. Of course, I'm under 60, so it wouldn't be me. And how about a bit of culture? Including one of myself.
Now, there's a lot of information you can find out about Wells if you go onto the tourist board information for Somerset. I would suggest it's probably in the top 10 places to come in Somerset. So if you do need to find out any more information, our good old friends, the tourist information, will do it for you.
Now, this is a wonderful part of the city, and it's just to the side of the cathedral. You've got to find it. But if you find it, you'll be rewarded, because this street was made for the vicars. And actually at the far end there, it is about 3 metres narrower than where we're filming. So it gives it the feel of distance, even though it's a little bit shorter than you think. Now, away you go with your reading, and we'll give you a test at the end. In the north of England, this would be called a 2 up, 2 down, with posh chimneys. And all the chimneys look very stunning, except for one which looks as though it needs a bit of repair. But as chimneys go, this is going some. Of course, if you've seen this in films, it's probably true, because it is used an awful lot. Now this place I love, because this is where we want to do a gig. Why? Because the windows you can't get out of, and the door is 6 inches thick and lockable. Now this is a bit sad really, because they put a lock on it, and I rather think when they did it originally there was no lock. So there you go, a sign of the times. I have to say, around here, the amount of architecture to look at if you were interested in it is stunning. Even some Neanderthal like me, I find it very interesting. Although I thought this little place, a bit different, the Little Theatre. Now this building, as I came past through that window up there was somebody playing the flute, and it was beautiful to hear. Unfortunately, I didn't record it, so sorry. And there you go, modern houses as well as the old. And this is just to show you, on a good day, how beautiful Wells can be.
Now, on a side note, as ever, Una met somebody local, and they were talking about the car parking, because car parking is a problem in Wells. And the person's just moved into Wells and has just been told that there's a 2-year waiting list, even though you live in Wells, to actually get a car parking permit. So if you do want to come here to live, I suggest you learn to ride a unicycle.
And it just shows you how good Wells is. This is the view as you go into the toilet. Now, one of the best places to go and have a coffee is actually in the palace itself. You could go into the palace for £8.50, or you could go in and spend your £8.50 on a coffee and a cake. I know which one I'd do. And of course, you can watch them playing croquet on the lawn. Nothing could be more English than this. Although, having said that, if you were carrying around a lump of wood like that in Manchester, I rather think you'd be arrested.
And of course, if you recognise this, you may recognise this has been used in TV programmes and films for many years, because it's so, I don't know, I want to say medieval in nature. So a lot of film companies come here and film, and we know that because Una found out Poldark was filmed here as well. In fact, it gets a little bit worrying how much she knows about the filming of Poldark. It's a good job there's only one more series to go.
You know, this looks good, but I wouldn't like to drive it on a rainy day.
Well, the farmer's out in his tractor, which I can hear in the background now, probably mowing the lawns for the croquet later on. That's how efficient they are in Wells. But I hope you enjoyed Wells. If you get the chance to come along, it is worth a little trip out. But then that's why we do these little touristy things, so you probably guessed it's worthwhile coming down. Nightlife-wise, there's not much going on. Nightlife-wise? Sorry. Nightlife, there isn't any really, again. And at the risk of sounding pedantic, you're better going to Weymouth and Bournemouth. Although, having said that, we don't go to Weymouth and Bournemouth either, so we could be telling you an absolute fib there. But it is a nice place to have a walk round over an evening. What has surprised me has been the amount of music I've heard. There was some trombone playing that I heard. There's been a flute playing. So there's actually been quite a bit of music around. There's a couple of buskers in town. We're doing a little bit of busking. So who knows? We may, even if times get hard and we lose friends and we're desperate, we may end up here in Wells playing on the streets.
They were a lot smaller in the olden days.
As you can hear, you might be able to hear, there's a helicopter somewhere. So they're coming to collect me. My time is up in Wells. So I better get myself off to the landing pad and fly back home. I wish.
Thanks for watching to the end, and here are a few more links for you to enjoy. See you somewhere down the road.